The Hocking Valley Scenic Railway. Normally, this railroad is operated by diesel locomotives, but for today, steam has returned once again. On February 25th, 2023, the Hocking Valley operated number 3, their 060 steam locomotive, on a couple of runs out of Nelsonville, Ohio. During these trips, an N&W hooter whistle was fitted to number 3, and we got to hear the whistle echo through the valley. I also got the chance to put my GoPro onto number 3 for an interesting ride on the railroad. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get started. The date is February 25th, 2023. On this day, the Hocking Valley Scenic Railway was operating their venerable 060 switcher number 3 on a couple of runs out of Nelsonville, Ohio. Hocking Valley number 3 was built in 1920 by the Baldwin Locomotive Works, the Ohio Power Company, as their number 3. Eventually, it made its way to the Hocking Valley Scenic Railway, where it has remained to this day. For today's operations, a guest whistle was added to number 3. A classic N&W hooter whistle was put atop the engine, and as we'll see, or rather hear, it sounded great during the trip. Also on this day, I was down here to help work the train as a trainman. A trainman on the Hocking Valley is a person who helps takes tickets and is assigned to 1 or 2 passenger cars on the train and helps to make sure nothing goes wrong on their section of the train. Anyway, as I was working the train, I was able to put my GoPro onto the handrail of number 3.
Okay. Press any button. Yep.
I was helping to make a special video for the Hocking Valley Scenic Railway YouTube channel, which I'll talk about a little later. Anyway, it was soon time for the first run of the day. With everyone on board, Hocking Valley number 3 then took off from Nelsonville to head to East Logan. Today's train consists of 5 passenger cars and 1 former caboose, now generator car. Behind number 3 is Baltimore, Ohio, 1497, a combine coach, Baltimore, Ohio, 3501, a regular passenger car, Chicago, Rock Island, and Pacific, 2570, 2607, and 2527, all 3 being former commuter passenger cars, and 18365, a former caboose, now fitted with a generator to power the passenger cars. As we approach the Lake Hope Drive Railroad crossing, the engineer of number 3 turns on the blower, which then sends some water out the stack. Luckily, thanks to the cover for the GoPro, it prevented the camera from getting wet. We are now crossing the Hocking River. The railroad follows the river all the way to East Logan, and in some places the line runs right next to the river. We are now approaching the 595 Bridge. This area along the Hocking Valley Scenic Railway was once double-tracked, as indicated by the bridge. This section of the railroad served a number of industries back in the day, requiring the second track along the line. But as time progressed here, the industries have either left or switched to trucks, rendering the second track useless here. So, the second track was pulled up, only leaving today's Hocking Valley Scenic Railway line. The 595 Bridge is called this because it is about 59.5 miles away from the former Columbus Union Station, which once stood in Columbus, Ohio. Today, the area where the station once stood in downtown is now the Greater Columbus Convention Center, and the original building has been torn down. Although it is no longer a station, some of the tracks still run underneath the building, and there's still a slight chance that passenger service may one day return to the area. We have now arrived at the photo run-by spot in Haydenville, Ohio. Here, the passengers were allowed to deboard the train and get the chance to see number 3 strut her stuff along the line. As the passengers disembarked the train, the engine crew was doing general maintenance around number 3, as seen by the GoPro. Once the majority of people who wanted to see number 3 run by got off, the train then backed down the line. With the train in position, we then got to watch as number 3 put on a show for both the passengers and the rail fans. With the photo run-by now done, the passengers began to reboard the train. While the passengers are reboarding the train, let's go back in time to 2018. It is now November 4th, 2018, and we are now located at the old Haydenville Depot south of the Waddling Road Railroad crossing. This depot was built in 1903 by the original Hocking Valley Railway, It was passed down by the original Hocking Valley to its successor, the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad. Eventually, it ended up in the ownership of today's Hocking Valley Scenic Railway. Unfortunately, the depot fell into disrepair over time. There were hopes to restore the depot back to its former glory, but unfortunately, time, money, and nature was not on the depot's side. In this shot, although the depot was still standing, the structure was in bad condition, and possibly it could have collapsed, hence the reason why the fence was around it at this time. In late 2020, the depot suffered major damage to the roof, and combining it with all the other issues the building had prior, the Hocking Valley Scenic Railroad was sadly forced to demolish the old structure. As of today, all that is left of the old building is the platform, the footprint, and some bricks left behind after the cleanup. We'll now watch as number 3 passes the old depot. Perhaps someday a replica depot could be built in place of the old depot, but only time will tell on that one. Anyway, getting back to the present day, the passengers have now finished boarding the train. We'll now take off from here and continue up the line to East Logan. As we depart here, keep looking to the left of the screen, as we'll be passing the remains of the old Haydenville Depot. As we continue down the line, you may have noticed the sky has darkened a little bit. This is because of the lens on the camera. Soot coming from the stack of number 3 has landed on the camera, making the sky appear much darker than it really is today. We have now arrived in East Logan. East Logan is where the Hocking Valley has a siding, so locomotives pulling a train like this can run around their train and return back to Nelsonville. We'll now watch as number 3 runs around its train for the return journey. After coupling up to the rear of the passenger train and doing some checks to the train itself, it was now time for number 3 to take the train back to Nelsonville. Unfortunately, this is where the ride on number 3 ended, as my GoPro ran out of SD card space. When I got the GoPro back, I saw that the lens appeared to be covered in coal soot. I was so worried that the footage came out badly on the first run that I decided to try to get a different angle on number 3, this time from the front. This would have been a great shot as well, but I forgot to check the battery life left on my GoPro. About 15 minutes after I attached the GoPro to the front, it died, so this was all I was able to get from the second run. We are now back at the photo run-by location, this time on the second run. We'll now watch as number 3 makes one more photo run-by for the onlookers in the area. After the final photo run-by, we'll now fast forward later that afternoon to the Nelsonville shops. Here we got to watch as number 3 was steamed down after a long, hard day's work. After some time had passed, the engine crew then got onto number 3 to remove the whistle. Since the whistle was a guest whistle, it was now time for the hooter to go home. Right there. Once the whistle was removed, number 3, with what little steam she had left, moved into the shops for the night. With number 3 parked, her day was done. This also means we are now at the end of this video. If you guys want to see the full video of the GoPro ride on number 3, I highly recommend going over to the Hocking Valley Scenic Railway's YouTube channel. There, the full video of the ride will be posted to YouTube. Not only will I leave a link down in the description box below, but I'll also add it to the little engine of the Hocking Valley playlist. So, if you are watching this video from the playlist, it will be the next video after this one. If you are interested in riding any of the Hocking Valley Scenic Railway's excursion trains, I highly recommend going and checking out their website. There, you can keep up to date on what excursion trains will be operated by the railroad. You can also keep on track with their excursions by checking out their YouTube channel, Pinterest account, Twitter, and Facebook page. I'll leave a link down in the description box below so you guys can check out all those links as well. Well guys, I not only hope you enjoy this video, but I also hope you enjoy the ride on number 3 as well. Well, I hope you guys have a good day. See you later.